So, hello everyone. Today we have a very special guest with us, Mrs. Preetha Ajit, who is a certified career counselor, works as a freelancer with IDC, and also has training and education as a psychologist, and worked as a teacher, and been working with many students from schools, from different institutions, guiding them on their career. So, very welcome, Preetha ma'am, to this session.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Nikhil. My pleasure.
Yeah. So in this session, broadly, we'll talk about three things. So first, from Preetha ma'am, who has been practicing career counseling for now almost 7, 8, 10 years. And we'll try to understand from her perspective, working in this field, what exactly is career counseling, right? What is the job of a career counselor and what kind of problems do they tackle? Then we'll go about the importance or the usefulness of career counseling. Is it really helpful? Are there any cases where it has been very helpful? What are the benefits that one gets out of career counseling? Some maybe ma'am can share some anecdotes, and finally we'll end up with how you can approach a career counselor, or what exactly happens when you go to a career counselor, which will give you a feel, right? If you go, then what will happen? So ma'am, very basic question, right? What is career counseling, and how does a career counselor help a student?
Okay. So, to start with a very good question, Nikhil. So, when we say career counseling, it is basically a support provided by a trained professional. That's more important, you know, by a trained professional. So, and what's the outcome to career counseling is this trained professional helps you clear your career confusion. It could be related to your academics, or it could even be related to your work. It's just not related to stream selection or college selection. So anything related to career confusion in your career pathway. So it is support and guidance by a trained professional. That's more important.
So whom do you suggest this career counseling? Is it for every student, or only for people who are not clear or have some confusion? Should they approach a career counselor?
Yeah. Okay. So different people approach career counseling at different stages of their growth. For a student who is confused, so we all think confusion as a negative connotation. I would say confusion is a very positive sign, because the child has started thinking. That's when he or she is confused.
Right.
Okay. So might be 10th standard. 10th standard is a very crucial stage in Indian education system, because that's when subject selection, which we call as stream selection, it is majorly subject selection. Subject selection happens. So once you know which is your subjects that you have selected, then it's easy to streamline from there. So I wouldn't say everyone would require it, but yes, those who are confused should definitely approach a career counselor. But it would be beneficial if all of us or all of the children go through it at some stage or other.
So you are saying after 10th, if you want to select your stream, you have a confusion, what should I pursue? Should I pursue science, commerce, etc.? Then of course you can go to a career counselor. And also after 12th also, can you give more examples, like what kind of questions a career counselor help a student in?
Okay, as mentioned, 10th standard, it is majorly stream and subject selection. When it comes to 11th and 12th, it's majorly what kind of entrances should I focus on, what would be the content of the or the syllabus of the entrance examinations, which colleges should I focus into, what is the admission process of the colleges, what will I, after studying all this, where will I land up? Okay, so these are the set of questions that generally children or even their parents seek answer for.
Okay. So can you, ma'am, with after your experience in this field, can you share some cases, some case studies, or some incidents where a career counseling really helped a student, right? That might be something beneficial. Yeah.
Yes. Sure. In fact, I would like to quickly take all of us, to move through two different individuals from two different socio-economic background. So there is this one young lady who at her 23 comes to me for career counseling. She is only 10th passed when she is at the age of 23. So she comes from a different area or demographics of India, and now working with a missionary. I would like to take that word, working with a missionary in a different geography altogether.
Mm.
So at this stage, at the age of 23, she realizes I would want to settle in life and not continue my missionary life anymore.
Mhm.
So she might have got some insight or thought provoking incident in her life. So she sought for career counseling, completely individual call that I should seek for a career counselor. And she approaches me, and we had a session, and it was a completely what she was looking in for immediate job settlement. So any course which she could find a livelihood.
Mhm. Mhm.
So we did definitely did an assessment, and after the counseling process, I could help her find out that yes, these are the courses or areas, short-term certification course, you should take it up. In fact, Montessori teachings, that were the suggestions, and she was a very happy child. Whereas the other example,
Mhm.
a student who is from, I'll take the place Madhya Pradesh in this case. He reached out. He's a very good student of academically brilliant student. When I say very good, academically brilliant student, he reached out. His parents reached out willingly.
Mhm.
Elder brother doing really good in Indian Institute of Science, so that the younger one should also be somewhere there.
Yes,
So
yes,
what's
something.
the best part in this case was I was able to give the child insight and awareness.
Mhm. Mhm.
The child did the admission process. The third time when I meet the child saying, "Ma'am, I've already got admission."
Great.
Okay, so here insight and awareness was what I gave the child. So for depending from client to client, the outcome is different, but yes, it's all productive. Mostly it's productive.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So because there are different questions, I mean, from my perspective, I think one question is people are confused what they want to do, right? So where their interest lies. So that is, I think, what you are saying is the awareness part. They should know where their
Yes.
strengths are, where their interests are, which field they want to move forward in. And then second question is, now I know, okay, I want to become a doctor. Then what is the right path or the best path for me to become a doctor? So I think both of these sort of broader themes the career counseling counselors work in, right? Is my
Yes.
understanding correct?
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely, Nikhil.
Okay, got it. So in India, ma'am, we have seen career counseling, of course, is a growing field, a new field, and a lot of different careers have opened up, but still, right, in India, majorly two careers people take, like engineering and medical. And parents also, if you talk to any parent, they say these are the only two fields where there is job opportunity, where there is growth and social status. So for those parents who are convinced that every student has to either go JE, IIT JE or NEET, will they come for why should they come for a career counselor to a career counselor?
Thanks for that question, Nikhil. Yes, in India, career counseling is at a very nascent stage, and it has not reached to all stratas of the society. And still, people believe career counseling is a luxury of the elite,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
which is not at least our effort or my effort, that we should be able to reach out to every single student at every nook and corner of whether it is town, city, or village. So that's second thing is yes, India is a very conventional orthodox society who still believes that we should match horoscope before getting married
Yes.
as a milestone
Mm-hmm.
in anyone's life. But they think twice. They take opinion from welcome opinion and unwelcome opinion when it comes to career decision.
Mm-hmm.
We need to understand life of an average adult revolves around the job they do.
Yeah. Right.
So it's very important that you make a very informed career decision.
Mm-hmm.
It could be, as I mentioned, insight and awareness. It could inform decision making. So all this actually is taking you one step close to your career decision. Okay, so when you have all these things, it is translating you to a productive individual. When
Mhm.
you have insight, when you have awareness, when you take informed decision making, it translates you to a productive individual. So
Mhm.
that's the outcome. That's why career counseling is important. And we as parents, when I say we, I, including me, my generation, we have grown up only hearing about engineering,
Mhm.
medicine, teaching, government service, banking, and we still stay there.
Mhm.
Whereas the job market has evolved and it has exploded.
Mhm.
Actually, there's an explosion in the job arena. So to identify where the potential lies, it's very important that we go through a structured format.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so that's why career counseling, everyone, at some stage or other should have clarity what they would want to do beyond being a doctor or an engineer.
Right. So I think you correctly mentioned, because they have seen that in their life. So they have seen people with doctors as a career very doing very good, or engineer is doing good, or government service, as you mentioned. But there are a new world, as you say. There's new kind of jobs which are opening up, and maybe the child is more suited towards those kind of jobs. So if you don't try to understand, I mean, I always have this question of internal versus external. So first, internal is what you are, or what is your personality, what are your aptitude, right? That is your internal assessment. And external are what are the opportunities available. So if you always go, I think, by the external approach, which generally is that, okay, doctor job is very good, or engineer job is very good, then that satisfaction might not come, because it's good for certain kind of people. But I mean, you should first understand yourself, and then be aware of yourself, as you said, and then look out for different opportunities. So what is your take on that? Hmm.
Absolutely. Here I'll tell another anecdote. A
Hmm.
very, somewhere around his 50, one of my friends, his father was a doctor or is a doctor. His brother is a doctor. He couldn't become a doctor.
Mhm.
So at the age of 50, he went to study hospital administration and
Mhm.
he saw to it very much that he got his first rank in that.
Okay.
Worked really hard. Very now
Hmm.
he has a daughter. They took 2 years drop preparing for NEET.
Mhm.
And after that, sadly, they had to go for a management seat after the two attempts also. Now they put the child in, for in a medical college. The first, the class test which happens. So she had anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, three chapters each class
Mhm.
examination or class test. She calls up, Papa, I don't think I can do so much hard work. Please take me back.
Mhm. Mhm.
So this is where the aspirational or the internal and external mismatch.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I would say he was, living his dream through the child
Oh,
and
right.
had always told, you should become a doctor, you should become a doctor. So never gave any window open for the child to think, if not, what else?
Mhm. Mhm.
At this stage, the child has realized that I don't think I have the potential to work so hard.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, that's the gap that we need to bridge.
Got it. Got it. Great. So, ma'am, talking about these sessions that you do with student, can you give a brief outline, like what happens if a student comes to you? What are the, like, how does the process work?
Okay. So now, generally, whenever a student comes, the first thing is to identify why the student has reached out for career counseling, because everyone's,
Sorry, the
requires.
student come on their own, or it's just the parent who is sort of pushing the
Okay.
student, or is it mandatory? Then they are coming. Hmm.
And okay, so both the things are there. Pushing the students and bringing the students, both are there. So the child who's been pushed into career counseling are generally not very cooperative in the process. They would want it to be a very mechanical process, and the parents would want immediate result.
Mhm. Mhm.
So the outcome might not be always very, very positive,
Okay.
because the child who is forced to career counseling will have a different tangent of thought which is not accepted by the parent.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, so that's a very challenging situation for all the three parties, all the stakeholders, the child, the parent, as well as the career counselor, and they would want one or two sessions and come out with a positive outcome, which many a times is many a times is not possible. But there are another set of parents who are willing to give you that extra time.
Mhm.
There you are able to bring out the best in the child. Okay, so now other child which comes willingly, the parent tells, okay, career counseling would give you some insight, or friend says, so the child tells the parents, I think I would require career counseling. So in that case, the receptivity, the listening potential is very high.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So in that case, so in any which case, in both the cases, the process remains the same. Only thing is the convincing time in the first case is a little longer.
Mhm. Mhm.
The
Mhm.
ice breaking in the initial stage and the convincing in the final stage is a little longer. So it is a psychometric assessment which is introduced to a child, in which multiple factors like aptitude, personality, and interest, it's assessed. Okay, so we tell there is no preparation that is required to take a test. So it is not the test in the academic format. So it is just an evaluation or an assessment, in fact assessment, to say or to find out what all things you can rule in for the child, which all options you can consider for the child. Okay, so once the assessment is completed, a report is generated. Based on the report, a a counseling session is done, one or two sessions of 1 hour each. In the first session, it's very important to understand what the parents require, what the child requires. So a strong relationship building is very, very much required in the first half of the first session.
Mhm.
So that's the general structure. But if some child, as I mentioned, require more sessions, so I always suggest to have more number of sessions.
Okay. So in this session, what kind of questions do the parents ask, or what kind of question can you share the students ask? What are the most common questions?
Okay. So I'll yesterday's example. The mother says, "Oh, I'm a doctor, but I'm taking care of my family also." Now, if she does something in economics, it's a very time-consuming job. She will not be able to take care of the family. So, ma'am, please tell very female-oriented careers.
Mm.
So that's one. That's a
So are the
parental
parents sort
anxiety
of
there.
influencing the child? Parents are saying,
Yes, so it's a parental anxiety knowingly or unknowingly transmitting to the child.
Mhm. Mhm.
Whereas the child, what they would ask, how much salary will I get?
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, they are never receptive. Okay, that you might start with a 10K and you might grow. They only know what salary does the CEO of the company gets. They never know what's the entry salary for an executive.
Mhm.
Okay, these there are other sets that we both parents are in a particular profession, so we would want our child also to be in the same profession so that we are able to guide them.
Then why
Okay,
why do they come to career counselor if yeah.
they just want validation. They
This
just want the child to hear from a third party, yes, you should do this. Okay, so
Mhm.
we already have a nursing home, so someone should be there to take care of the nursing home. I already have a law chamber, so I want my child to be in, I'll be able to network for my child. So these are the parental anxieties. They are making the life easy for their child, but in the long run, it turns out to be harmful because that's not what the child really wanted to do. But
Mhm.
for children, they would ask, how much should I study? Would it require a lot of studying? What would be my salary? Children will have these two thoughts.
Okay.
Generally, these two
How
thoughts.
difficult it is and what will I get? Mm.
So recently I had two cases where both, irrespective of the gender, the children asked me, what is the work-life balance? I was like taken aback, a young child, school-going child, when, they asked me. But that's very, very rare.
But according to you as a career counselor, what is the right question to ask to a career counselor? I mean, I'll put it the reverse. If a student is coming to you, what should be his or her approach?
Okay, so whenever a student comes, any student will have some aspiration. It might not be at I want to become an architect, or I have thought of n number of things. Whenever I see a TV, I think I can be a very good actor. When I hear I can be a singer or I can be a doctor, they might have so many options with them. So it is best that you tell the counselor that I have thought of all these options. Will you help me identify which suits me better? If something suits me, how should I go about it?
Right.
If this is not the thing that suits me, what is the nearest possible that I can work?
So you're
You
saying
know,
the students should
you know,
themselves do some homework, right? At least I mean.
definitely, 100%. You know, counselor is just a, I would say it's like, you buy, you are hungry,
Hmm.
you have rice. Unless and until you boil it, you cannot have it. So that work you will have to do, which is the core work.
Right.
Yeah, that you will have to do.
Okay,
Yes,
great.
definitely.
I think, ma'am, coming to the end, the final question I would like to ask is: you have seen the whole cycle. I mean, somebody coming to you confused, and then you help them, and then they went and did their professional degrees, etc. And now they are very satisfied in their careers. Because I'm asking because a lot of people, though they are in good careers, are still not satisfied. After BTech, we see people doing journalism, people doing something else, right? So, what is, according to your experience, right, what are the factors, what are the pointers one should keep in mind while deciding on a career? Is it the money or the interest, or what really has you've seen worked well?
Okay. So money is something that we cannot, negate from a conversation when it comes to any career. So money is a factor, but is, and to some extent of early career, it is a primary factor also.
Mhm.
Because there has to be some, earning portion to it. But while you are doing, if you have an interest, you should always keep the interest fresh with you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, when I say fresh with you, I like counseling, but I am doing engineering because I want a livelihood.
Mhm.
So now doing some social activity in the college, in the immediate neighborhood, on an online portal, and then you can take it up from whichever stage you feel you're secure enough to take up your passion. Now, people generally say, I'm children, especially that's very, very in with the children, that I'm very passionate about something. I
Mhm.
feel 14 years is too early to identify your passion in life. So, it's passion is something that you identify very much later, that is when you realize, oh god, I've been carrying this throughout my life. That means I'm passionate about it.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I would like to sum up that any student who would want to earning is a requirement, but your personality, your aptitude and interest should go hand in hand. You should be able to polish your personality or adapt to a personality for that particular work environment.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, ma'am,
That's
because Mhm. Because in the
sorry,
long term
sorry.
sustenance, I mean, in the long term sustenance, I think interest is what will survive. Money, uh, just money I'm getting, but I'm not liking my work. A very
Mm.
difficult job it will be. Right. That is
So
my take
that's
on
when
it.
they keep job hopping,
Right.
because you are just, money is the only factor
Mm.
that's attracting you. So you keep jumping jobs very frequently in
Right.
different profiles, that too.
And you're not satisfied, and then what is
Yes,
the
yes,
point of all of it?
absolutely.
Great, great. Thanks, ma'am. Thanks so much for sharing your very important insights and knowledge with all of us. I hope this video will be helpful for students and for viewers. If you have any questions, please leave in the comment sections and let us know how you like this video. Thanks so much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Preetha, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nikhil, for having me here. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, ma'am.